Okay, let's go. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning, guys. God bless you. It is 31 minutes after the hour. Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the Wake Up Team with the Queen, Cindy J. It's a whatever Wednesday. Good morning, guys. This is the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the Wake Up Team on all media. This is where you get your morning love, but most importantly, it's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Cindy J, the Queen, good morning. God bless you. And how are you?
Good morning, Sean. I'm doing great. Good morning to everybody listening. We have an amazing show for you today. As always, we're going to get started with Sunny Says, where I will let you know what is going on in Hollywood and entertainment news. And we also have Front Page News with Sunny J, where I will let you know what is going on locally, nationally, and globally. So you want to make sure you stick around for that.
Definitely want to stick around for all that we have to offer you today on this glorious Wednesday morning. Cindy J, I don't know, for some reason I am hyped up this morning. I know why, because I woke up and I am truly blessed to be up this morning and walking around, even though my body is sore. That's another issue. We'll talk about that in a minute. Guys, please, before we get into our first story, please like and share Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with the Queen Cindy J and also the Queen Miss Miko, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. All right, Cindy J, let's just jump right into this. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. What's going on first, Cindy J?
Well, Sean, the first thing that is going on in the world right now, linear TV viewing, they're saying linear, but I guess that's just the regular TV. They're saying viewing drops below 50% of US television usage for the first time. Streaming hits a record high, and this is with the Nielsen ratings. This is what they have found it, and Nielsen, they have been tracking TV viewership since like the beginning of time. I think they started in like the 1900s. Broadcast and cable TV dropped to a new low. Meanwhile, streaming services like YouTube and Netflix accounted for a record 38% of total US TV usage. The category's largest share reported in Nielsen's monthly report to date. Overall TV usage increased 0.2% during the month. In July, cable's share fell below 30% for the first time, losing a full share point to stand at 29.6%. Broadcast usage fell 3.6%, down a little less than a point on a year over year basis. And broadcast viewing was down 1.5 points, which was down 5%. Among streaming platforms, three achieved record high shares of TV usage in July. YouTube, but this is excluding YouTube TV, increased 5.6%. Netflix viewing increased 4.2%. And Amazon Prime Video viewing was up 5%. The other category on Nielsen's monthly TV usage estimates, including unmeasured video on demand, audio streaming, video gaming, and Blu ray and DVD playback. The two most streamed titles in July were shows Suits, that's the legal drama with Meghan Markle, and on Netflix and oh, that's on Netflix and Peacock. And Australian Kids' animated favorite, Bluey, that's actually on Disney Plus. Those shows combined for 23 billion viewing minutes, with Suits accounting for nearly 18 billion on its own. For comparison, Netflix original Stranger Things had captured nearly 18 billion viewing minutes in July of last year following its fourth season. I haven't watched any of those shows. Stranger Things, I did a little bit, but none of these other shows I've seen. And I heard, like, when Suits was around, like when it was out, I used to hear that that show was kind of stupid. So I think a lot of people are just watching it because it's available now. No, not a lot of people never watched it, but they want to watch it now because of Meghan Markle. That's my little 2 cents on it. So yeah, people are streaming more. I kind of, believe that. I think it's because so many more shows, or classic shows that we used to watch, are coming out now to stream, and people are addicted to binge viewing. Because I know I am. I be If there's a show and there's not at least like, you know, 10 episodes, or I mean, if there's not at least 10 to 13 episodes and it's not at least like 5, 6 seasons, I'm not watching it. I
Uh,
like to watch all these shows.
uh, well, once again, everybody, welcome to the show, any place on earth where you get your morning started right. CJ, I cannot see the chat room at all. So that's something maybe I got to deal with and work with on my end now. Guys, please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team, okay? If you don't mind. And welcome to everyone in the chat room. I can't see you guys, but thank you so much for tuning in, like, and share. Now,
Let me share it on the other side. Go ahead.
Linear television or terrestrial radio, all that's done. That's finished. And cable television is running a close second. You're done. If it wasn't for the cable industry owning the Wi-Fi, the whole business model would be finished. Imagine we owned our own Wi-Fi. There would be no need for cable. She talked about the Nielsen ratings that the regular broadcast radio is losing 3% plus 5% of their audience. You know that equivalent to millions and millions of people. Now this is no surprise. We know this. A lot of people just don't deal with regular television anymore. But it's shocking to me in the sense that these numbers are starting to come out. I give cable television and linear or terrestrial TV another year. I give it another year. Put it on one chat room if you're still watching regular TV. And put it on one chat room you running home at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and you watching your favorite NBC television show. There might be one or two regular network shows that we might be fascinated or interested in watching. But the rest of them we don't watch no more. I'm still surprised that people are still watching the 6 o'clock news. Remember, we used to run the home at 6 o'clock and watch the news and the 11 o'clock news. We don't even need that anymore. I'm surprised that's still around. I give regular news. I give news, the regular televised news. I give that about another 2 more years and that'll be done. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. First of all, as Cindy said, right? Everybody's navigating towards the streaming services, right? And two, don't forget that AI is coming out in the next year or two. So you're going to have automated people doing your weather and your news. I'm going to give regular television another year and you're done. You're so done. When you say 3%, 5% of the broadcast of regular radio and regular television viewers have declined each and every year, like I said, that equates to millions of people. So remember back in the day when cable and regular TV was the almighty of all ways to communicate? Done. We're on YouTube right now. We're on YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube. I don't know about for you, Cindy J. I'm watching regular TV. I got my device in my hand and I'm on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. And I peek over to the side and see what's going on over there. And then I go back to TV.
Right.
And to the cable companies, this is a wake-up call, my friend. You better slash those prices down to $12 if you want to stay in business, because the only thing we need is your Wi-Fi. Or or bump up the Wi-Fi price to $1,000, because other than that, you're finished. Put a
They
number
can't
one in the chat. Put a number one chat room if you still watching regular TV.
they
Who's
can't
doing it?
even they can't even do that because the cell phone companies already beat them to it. They're already selling Wi-Fi boxes. I have one from Verizon. I only pay like $70 for the month.
Look at that.
When I
Cable
was
company.
paying when I was paying for cable, they wouldn't give you internet unless you bought the cable package as well. I'm like, why am I paying 180, $200 for something I don't even watch, bro?
Right. Now, Cindy, do you, so you just answered my question. You don't have the cable, the traditional cable package, do you?
No.
I don't as well. Put a number one in the chat room, and good morning, guys. I see on the
I
other
barely
end of, on the other end of the screen, I see Danielle Williams and my man Jay Buttons in the building, who you pissed off yesterday. Past presidents in the building. Put a number one in the chat room. Put a number one in the chat room if you still have your basic cable plan. I don't, Cindy, I don't, we haven't had cable here in over a year and a half.
Right.
So to the cable industry, wake up call, slash your prices down to $4 so you can stay in business, because YouTube is busting your ass.
Word. It's
It's the,
ridiculous.
see, the thing with the television industry, this was the doom of the television industry, was the cell phone. When the cell
Yeah.
phone was converted into video and watching television on the cell phone, it was a wrap. You don't need it no more. And then what you said as well is true. We are now in this culture, we are trained to binge watch our television shows now. Like, who has the time to wait a whole nother week for another show, for another episode of a television series?
I know I don't.
I mean, and sometimes even with the shows that I want to watch that are currently having new episodes or showing new episodes now, I forget to even watch them. So by the time I watch the series I want to watch, it's already in a bundle of 12 episodes anyway.
And this is also, I think TV is suffering like recently because a lot of these projections were given within the last couple of months. Um, there's a writer's strike going on right now in Hollywood. So I think that's affecting a lot of TV too because there's nobody writing, these new episodes. I think it's going to be really interesting to see within the next 6 months what's really going to happen because I mean, binge watching, it's a blessing and a curse because it's like for really good shows, like I don't mind watching it. But a lot of these new shows that they're coming out with, it takes them like 2 years to bring you the next season. And I kind of don't like that either. And I don't know if that's just the trend with the streaming or if it's because of this new writer strike that's going on. But they take really long to create episodes in between. So I don't know. To me, I give it up to the social media content creators because they're the ones putting out new stuff every day, even
Right.
though it's definitely shorter. But if you go on YouTube and you follow your favorite people, I mean, it could kill whatever time you're looking for too.
Right. And that goes, it's relatable to us. If you're
That's
looking
right.
for something to watch on YouTube, watch the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team with the Queen Cindy J and the Queen Miss Mika. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right, where we give you the real. Now, you're
Mhm.
absolutely right. And before we move on, and welcome to the show, guys, please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. To all you writers and actors that are on strike right now, get your ass back to work. This is a no-win situation. You're on strike at the wrong time. There's no way that this report's coming out that no one's watching broadcast television no more and cable TV no more. And Cindy just said that people are creating their own content on these other platforms. What is the need to have actors for? Listen, this whole industry is in jeopardy right now.
It really
Across
is.
the board, across the board.
Right.
This is a wake-up call for everybody in this industry. Let me tell you something. Contact content creators like myself, the Queen Cindy J, and others are out here doing what they have to do to have content online. And
Yeah.
we're not in no union.
But I go ahead.
The YouTube is a union buster. Netflix is a union buster. They are not going to. You got these sad cards and you're running around, and I hope that you come to some type of resolution with the producers, the movie producers. But the longer you stay on strike, and you see these reports coming out that no one is watching uh, uh, broadcast television or regular TV anymore, you better negotiate a deal to all my actors and producers, to everybody on the Netflix side, and get back to work, because this is one in the chat room. If you still have your cable package, put a number two. If you don't, put a
Yeah, I
number
think a
one.
lot of go
Put
ahead.
a put a number one in the chat room if you still have the traditional cable package. Put a number two if you don't. And what was the traditional packages anyway? They had the gold package, the bronze pack, the silver. What was the cable packages called back in the day, guys? Let me know. Go ahead, City.
I have no freaking idea. I was like, whatever's the cheapest one. I remember though, I think that why the writer strike is starting or it's been going on is because they're saying because it's like changing so fast, they're not getting paid per stream. That's the thing. They need to work out what they're going to be getting paid, because people that are streaming now, how do you pay actors and writers for people that binge watch? Before, you could do it by the ratings, whatever. Nielsen was saying how many people were tuning in, how many households. But now it's hard to say that, and they're not getting paid. I mean, it's the same thing that the record industry went through
Yeah.
when people weren't buying CDs anymore, but they're streaming. So they're like, how are we going to get paid for these streams instead of regular CD sales or tour ticket sales? So, I mean, that's what's happening is our landscape is changing faster than these companies. I mean, they have the money. They just aren't structuring it to where people are getting paid, and that's not right.
Right. And then also the social media platforms doing the monkey wrench as well for paying people for their content.
Yeah.
So now you're really in the quagmire as if you're an actor on strike, and want more money from these streaming services or the cable services or even the terrestrial radio, television. You have a serious problem here. I give regular TV 1 more year. I give cable 2 years, and all this will be done with, and actors go back to work. What's your thoughts in the chat room, guys? Or if you want to call in, the number's 570-982-6950. Go ahead, Cindy.
The next story that we are talking about, this one has been hitting social media pretty hard. The Tui family, uh, the Tui family is responding to allegations and a lawsuit brought by Michael O'Hare and his fight and his false adoption. This is regarding Michael O'Hare, who was the the um the blind side story, the young man who the Tui family took in and seemingly adopted, is coming out in a new lawsuit. He basically filed a lawsuit last month saying that he was never, he discovered that legally he was not actually a part of the Tui family. He says in the film it was portrayed that he was adopted by the Tuies after he began sporadically staying with the family the summer after his junior year of high school. According to his petition, the Tuies invited him to live with them and was later presented with the conservatorship. What he signed, however, and unknown to Michael until after February of 2023, were not adoption papers or the equivalent of adoption papers. They were actually conservatorship papers. The 37-year-old former NFL offensive lineman filed a petition this week in Shelby County, Tennessee, for the established conservatorship to be dissolved. In court documents, O'Hare argued that the Tuohys convinced him to sign documents that agreed to the conservatorship in 2004. The conservatorship filing claims that O'Hare wanted the Tuohys to be his legal guardians up until he became 25 years old or until the conservatorship was dissolved by a court beforehand. His petition stated this conservatorship is unnecessary as Michael is capable of handling his own affairs. Shawn Tuohy, who is the father of the family, he's saying that none of these allegations are true. We didn't make any money off the movie. The 63-year-old is a sports commentator, and he said he first heard the news of a lawsuit after a friend sent him the article from ESPN. He said Michael Lewis, the author of the book The Blind Side, gave his family half of the share of profits from the book, saying that everybody in the Tuohy family got an equal share, including Michael, which was about $14,000. We were never offered money. We never asked for money. He said, my money is well documented. You can look up how much I sold my company for. Tuohy said the conservatorship at the center of the petition had nothing to do with the movie, that it was a way to satisfy the NCAA when it appeared Michael might play football at University of Ole Miss. Michael was obviously living with us for a long time, and the NCAA didn't like that. He said the only way Michael could go to Ole Miss was if he was actually part of the family. And so they're also their lawyer is also alluding to the fact that this is not the first time that he's tried to shake them down, but it was again for the same amount of money. It was $15,000 or something like that. So they're going through that right now. Michael O'Hare, supposedly he has a book that he has coming out this year as well. So their lawyers are also alluding to the fact that he's trying to do some type of money grab or to give more promotion for his book. But Michael says that ever since the movie came out, he always never liked how they portrayed him in the movie. Like he was dumb and stupid. But he said the realization came after this year when he found out that he was never actually really adopted. So that kind of sparked everything. So I really want to see what's going on with this.
Well,
I mean, that's really crazy if they don't, you know? I wonder why their relationship got fractured.
that's what my thought is. Okay, guys, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up TV. I think that sparked everything. That he thought he was adopted when he found out. He was assuming he thought he was an adopted child, and I guess when he found out that he wasn't adopted, that's probably broke his heart. I mean,
Right.
adoption is serious. People take adoption seriously. Especially if you're getting adopted and you
Right.
feel like you're a part of a family. And for this family to show him love and for him to receive that love and give it back, and then to find out that you're not adopted, and you're like, wait a minute, what papers did I sign? And if they signed these legal papers binding this man to all type of legal responsibilities and finances instead of being adopted, I would be pissed off too if I was a child.
Yeah.
Now, did they make any money off of it? If they did, then this is a total violation. Uh, and I don't know if this is a criminal act with this family. Yes, the way he was portrayed in the movie, seemed like he was kind of slow, big slow guy, and then he became the hero. But if this is a case of deception, if this is a case of a contractual misbehaving, then yes, this is a problem. Why would the family say that he's being shook down? They're trying to shake him down. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of questions, and we need answers to.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions because why a conservatorship instead of adoption? maybe adoption would have taken too long. And because everything was moving too fast. I mean, I don't wanna I don't wanna say they use this guy, but it's very weird and I want to get to the bottom of it. But I want to put it past them. You know me. I don't.
Yeah, but my whole thing is they're not coming out saying nothing. Like if it was adoption, if I adopted a child and the child came out and said the papers I signed wasn't adoption papers and it was this conservatorship and they own all my rights to all legal negotiations and financial matters, then if I was the adopted parent, I'm pulling out my paperwork. I'll be like, I don't know what this young man's talking about. Here go the adoption papers. I'm for sure that this got to be public record anyway. I think everybody should be able to look this up. I think. I don't know. But if I was the parent, I would say, no, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know what he's talking about. He's trying to write a book. We don't even speak to this dude no more. Here go the paperwork. Everything is about paperwork. Pull out the motherfucker, pull out the paperwork. Pull, pull, pull the paperwork out and kill all the noise.
Right. That's what they should have published. They should have published the adoption papers.
I'm pulling out paperwork. You're not going to sit here and tell me that I didn't adopt you when I did. Now, if they don't have the paperwork and they have conservatorship paperwork, legal papers, then they're done. If I was this young man, I would sue the crap out of them. And this guy needs to lose his job. It's a lot. If that's the case, it's a lot of deception with this family. And it was a great movie.
I know, it was a good movie.
I love the movie.
I cried.
You cried? You cried tears?
I cried tears. Listen, Sandra Bullock, she's amazing. They don't give that lady enough credit. She can act now.
That was a great movie, but if this was a conservatorship, then the Babylonian is perpetrating a fraud.
Was this a modern day slave?
Right.
I don't know.
Do we need Black Lives Matter and Al Sharpton on the case? And wait a minute, hold on. And the father is a sports broadcaster? Bro.
But the only thing is that this family had money, but we all know rich people are greedy. So to me, because people are like, oh, well, they have money. Why would they need to do all that just to get, because they just want more money and they don't have to do anything for it. They're not doing anything for it. Why wouldn't you? It's called passive income. Hello. You know, you just have this guy out there doing whatever and you reaping the benefits, because they also have a nonprofit organization called Making It Happen. So if, and of course people are donating to them because they think that they're this amazing family and they do this and that, all based off of the fact, like, yeah, y'all had money before this, but nobody knew who the hell you were. But now people are associating you with being these really great people who made this guy into something. Why wouldn't they want to donate to your foundation? So is he getting any of that money that you're getting based off of his affiliation with you? You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with him. So that's money that you're getting that he's not getting. So it's a lot. I need them to get to the bottom of this swiftly.
Yeah, we need answers to these questions. There's a lot of effery going around here in town. And let me tell you something. I was pro-adoption. This is a sidebar, Cindy. I was pro-adoption. I talked about this on this show. I can't have any kids. I'm 58 years old. And my wife wanted to have a baby. Can't do it. So we thought about adoption. Okay. But that's out the window as well, because there's more money in the migrants. I'm trying to get me a migrant in the house and get real paper. Okay? So no conservatorship. Well, maybe I can have a conservatorship on a migrant.
No, Shawn. Just
open everybody. You want to get to the bag? Wait till they open up the floodgates for the migrants to be, you can house migrants in your house. And I hope this is a law that becomes a federal law across all states throughout the country. Let's get this money. Forget about natural adoption. We're going to have to put those kids that are in the holding pen waiting for adoption. You're going to have to sit there like terrestrial television. You're done. Let's get to the real money and let's get these migrants. You hear me? Everybody, adopt a migrant. It's coming from your boy Harvey. Let's get this real money.
They are
Adopt
not.
a migrant.
What?
Let's get this money.
Okay, I'm gonna move on
Okay,
because
cool.
I don't I don't know where your message is going.
$1.20, $1.25 a day.
What?
Okay?
No,
If
Shawn.
they pass these laws, I feel so, your adopted kids, man. I got my heart goes out to you, man. I know y'all in the holding pen. You're in the dugout. You're waiting to be placed in the game. You went through the minor leagues. You did everything you needed to do to become an adopted child to a loving family. But these migrants, that's where the money's at.
Wow. I can't believe you went on with that.
Get a migrant. Hashtag migrant life. Okay.
That hashtag migrant life. I wonder if they will do that.
I mean, I know we doing the show. I'm just saying, all due respects to adopted folks and all due respects to my beloved migrants. Mayor Adams already proposed, if you house migrants, we give you that paper because they have nowhere to put them. And we already talked about this. So it just segues into that story. No conservatorship with the migrants, of course, but let's get that money. Get you a family of 3 and get paid. Go ahead, Sid.
Speaking of getting paid, Joe Biden has come out, and if you haven't heard, Maui in Hawaii has been burning up everything, and I believe it's like a historical city. Hawaii has a lot of historical has like a lot of historical things there, and Maui is one of those places. I can't think of the word, so sorry, I can't like that. But he is receiving a lot of backlash as he in hopes of relief, he sent them only $700 to the fire victims. People are calling it assaulting. He is facing renewed criticism for his response to the devastating wildfires on the Hawaiian island of Maui after offering victims $700 per household in emergency aid. Political opponents and commentators described the sum as insulting and compared it with the more than $113 billion worth of aid the U.S. has sent to Ukraine as it defends itself against an ongoing Russian invasion. How long that thing with Russia been going on? Like a year now? Shawn, do you know?
Yeah, it's been going on for a little bit over a year now.
On Monday, the government announced it was sending $200 million in defensive capabilities. Biden has previously faced backlash over what some saw as a dismissive response to the death toll on Maui, brushing off questions about the disaster while spending the weekend at his Delaware beach house. After the first fatalities were announced on Wednesday, Biden expressed his deepest condolences to the families who had died. In a statement, he added that he was grateful. I believe it's like 100 people that have died, over 100, which makes it one of the deadliest wildfires to date. He added that he was grateful to the brave firefighters and first responders who continue to run toward danger, putting themselves in harm's way. The following day, he declared a federal disaster in Hawaii, making federal funding available to individuals affected by the fires for such things as temporary housing and loans to cover uninsured losses.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Sean UMS Wilson, why would you? He writes. Hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Cindy, he writes, why would I want to open up to the migrants, open up his house? I'm for sure to get that money, bro. You're sitting there with an empty house. First of all, why is your house empty? You're a grown ass man. What's going on with you? Why are you a grown ass man in your 50s and you got an empty house? That's the first question. But that's none of my business. But if your house is empty, my friend, and you live in the New York area, because that's where they want to start this program pilot off, why wouldn't you make this money? in your empty house, which is more concern to me than the migrants moving in your house. Are you the type of brother, if the migrants move into your house, they're gonna move out? The
Wow.
question is, why is your house empty, my friend? All right, Cindy, my fault. Continue on.
Wow. Large bushfires on Maui caused power outages, mass evacuations, and extensive destruction to the historic resort town of
Hold on,
Lahaina.
stop. Whoa, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Put a number one in the chat room if you're about that migrant life. Put a number one in that chat room if you're willing to house migrants for $125 each person per day. We already talked about this. Cindy, give me 17 number ones. I truly apologize. Continue on, Queen Cindy J.
Nothing. That's just what people are upset about, that they're not getting this money. Other senators were saying we're spending about $900 per US household right now to fund the war. So it's just really disappointing to see that. You know, that's what people talk about. Our own Americans, don't get the help that they need. But I mean, they're dealing with, a situation really right now. But if people really want to advocate for other people and get things done in this country, they know what they want to do. They know what they have to do, but nobody's going to take the torch up to do that yet. So this is what we're dealing with. So I guess keep being mad. Like, what are you going to do?
Before I jump into that, our beloved Kenny B. Williams, and he posts in the chat room, like, no way he's not going to, have, I'm paraphrasing. She's like, no way he have migrants because he has kids in the house. And I respect that, my friend. But are your kids yielding $125 a day?
But what does that mean? That you have kids in there? You can't open up your home because you have
You
kids
open
in
up your home to two migrants, Kuala Lumpur and her two kids?
there? Is that because migrants are dangerous?
Right. What are you trying to say, bro? And
No.
again, at the end of the day, and I say this respectively to your kids, at the end of the day, are they cash apping you $1.25?
But things like that, people, you should do because you want to do it, because you want to help, not because you want to get a check.
Let's
That's
get
the problem. That's the problem with the foster care system now. That's why kids are out in here suffering in everyday American households, because
well if they,
they
if
want
they
an extra $100.
well if they pass this law for the migrants for you to house migrants to get paid $125, these kids really gonna be suffering in the system because they're going to be parked there for a little while.
Mm-mm.
Everybody talking about chasing the bag. Everybody wants the bag. Everybody wants the ching ching. Everybody's on earth is an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur without you being an entrepreneur. Here's a chance to get the bag.
I'm weak.
I'm moving in for migrants if I'm able to do this. Now, Cindy, back to the tragedy in Maui. Am I saying that right, CJ?
Yeah.
Uh, Unfortunately, this is one of the prices you have to pay for living in paradise. Uh, they said that the electric company has a part to play in this because they had bad weather, and people was suggested that the electric company should have cut the power because a lot of these fires were sparked by the electrical fire, by the electricity.
Yeah.
President Joe Biden, who I'm a fan of, was well documented on this show. They call him Sleepy Joe, but Joe gave us checks. Joe even forgave a few months of Cindy J's student loan from back in the 90s.
No, not my loan, not yet.
And Joe has done. Joe, if one thing to say about Joe, Joe is he's acting presidential and he's doing his job as president. Yes, $700 per household is insulting. It really is. No question about it.
You can even give them the $1,200 stimmy we was all getting a couple of years ago. Not even $1,200, Joe.
You couldn't get the $1,200 stimmy, but you're sponsoring Ukraine in the war against Russia by giving them billions of dollars or all type of technology that these guys don't even know how to work because you got to bring your own personnel over there to work it. Joe Biden, you got to step up, bro. You should give everybody $3,000 each, not 700. What are you gonna do? Your house is destroyed. Your loved ones are missing. What's $700 gonna do, Joe?
And how are they gonna get it?
And then the Nigerians are around the corner, getting the scams ready to intercept the 700.
They're like, ooh, America's sending out that money again.
They're like, ooh, the Americans sending more money out. What are you gonna do about that? So my whole thing is this. Joe, step up. Get another press conference later today and just say this. Hey, my fault. Miscalculation. Everybody $3,000. Because there's not a lot of people there anyway. $700. What is that, Joe? Come on, Joe. Step it up. Make an amendment. Give them another $2,300 next month. That'll be a better look. That kills all the noise.
He's not going to do that. They're pathetic. The fact that you came to the fact that you looked at the situation and came to $700 is the problem in the first place. So I don't know how presidential he's acting with doing that. It looks a little racist to me, but whatever.
Cindy, it says his advisors came and gave him that number. He agreed to it. That's what when his advisors came and said that all the Treasury folks.
Why are you agreeing to that? Why
exactly
when they
right? That's when they said, "Yo, Joe, 700." He said, "Like, whoa, you sure 700?" He should have did the pointing finger. You sure? I don't know. That sounds kind of light.
Yeah, because he was sleeping. That's why he's Sleepy Joe.
But then at the same time, I know our beloved President Obama would have did that with the King Donald Trump, do something like that. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is he did the right thing. It was just the wrong number, was canceled out him doing the right thing. So let me ask you this, folks in the chat room. What's the appropriate number that Joe Biden should have gave the residents of Maui, which is part of the United States? $700, $1,200, or $3,000 per and not household, per person.
And this is a one-time payment. Like it's not like it's like every 2 weeks. Then maybe I could understand that, like something with the stimmy, $700 a week. This is a one-time payment of $700 for one of the deadliest wildfires in American history.
Right. Right. Everybody smelling like cigarette ashtrays, and you're giving them $700 each. Knock it off, Joe. This is what. If I was president, this is what I'd have done. I'd say, yo, listen. That monthly payment for Ukraine, that's got to stop. They got to be on their own. Take that monthly payment and give it to the folks in Maui. Give everybody in the household $3,000 each. You got 4 people in the household, that's $12,000. And Joe, you would have been a hero, but you played yourself.
Not to mention, probably half of these deadly wildfires and all this crazy stuff is coming from global warming anyway that nobody wants to do a damn thing about.
First of all, who the hell wants to live in Hawaii? Like, what is that? Let's knock it off. Do we even need the state? Okay. Why is it a state? This should be, as it is, a tourist destination. That's it.
I mean, though, a little bit to play devil's advocate, a little bit. Hawaii, y'all was cursing out Americans the other day. Just a couple of weeks ago, talk about don't come to Hawaii. We don't want y'all here. You know, Hawaii's not even supposed to be a part of the United States because, you know, they had their own queen. And, you know, of course, America came over and colonized them and all this other stuff. So, but now y'all is mad because you ain't getting no money from us.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute.
Just
rewind selector. Rewind selector.
Please stop. What
City, are you saying that the Hawaiian Islands were criticizing the United States just a few weeks ago?
Yeah, like this has been going on for a while. Hawaii does not want to be a part of the US. They think that they should be their own island, own laws, own things because they were sovereign before, the United States and all that other stuff.
And
So,
you know why? I read I saw a recent document on Hawaiians, and I forgot all about this. Thanks for bringing that up about Hawaiians and how they feel about uh, the corporate giants taking over their island, where they can't even have affordable housing in Hawaii itself. So a lot of the Hawaiians, Cindy J, have packed up and they moved to Las Vegas because they can't afford to live on the island anymore, on these particular islands.
yeah.
And they were really pissed off about it. How the corporate giants have come in there, purchased all the land, and now just housing is like $2,000-3,000. Maybe Cindy, you might want to look up an apartment in Hawaii right now, see how much that costs. So if
Yeah,
there's
right now there's a lot of conspiracy theories saying that this is like just a land grab, that the fires were started on purpose. Now all these other businesses, organizations, celebrities that live there are going to be coming there and buying up all the land. I mean, hey, I
listen
wouldn't put it past nobody, but
to my fellow Hawaiians, if you feel that way, I would have gave you $300.
they do.
Three.
They say F America. So,
Well,
I
then
mean, when you look at it like that, I mean, $700 should be a boost up because what were y'all going to do anyway? If y'all had stayed sovereign and this happened to you, what would you do?
they would have called on the United States to help them, like all the rest of the third world countries do. Yo,
Yikes.
Hawaii, right now, if this is all true, I'm gonna take all that back, man. Take your $700. Joe might be right. The advisors might have came to Joe City and said, "Yo, give him 3,000 a piece." And Joe said, "Yeah, but what about that? All that they were talking a lot of mess about a week ago. I give these neighbors $700."
I mean that's where it kind of comes into play. Like y'all can't be talking about F America, and then at the same time be like, well, dang, 700.
That's right. That's right. You better take a page from Brittany Griner. She changed that tune.
Y'all better stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's
Y'all
right.
better bend on one knee and take that $700.
That's right. You better be up there. Oh, say, can you see by the star? You better get that. You better get your Star Spangled Banner game up.
But they are part of America, so they are Americans.
All right.
So you can identify as you're a solo state if you want.
I
But
haven't.
y'all are Americans.
I'm trying to remember when the last time I saw a Hawaiian person. I don't even know what it looked like.
I don't even think I've ever really met a Hawaiian person.
Shout
Maybe
out
I
to
have.
those folks. Again, shout out
It's,
to those. Shout out
it's
to those folks.
devastating.
We hope that you make it through, but you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful when you're criticizing folks because you never know when you need folks. I'm telling you.
You never know.
So you know what? I take all that back, and I think we all should take that back. Joe Biden did the right thing by giving them $700 each. I'm gonna take back. Matter of fact, I'm on my own
Now
with this
that
one.
you're more informed, Shawn, you
Yes,
feel like
my hero Joe Biden, who everybody knows I voted for. He's my hero, and I'm gonna vote for his ass again. I take that back, Joe. You did the right thing. $700 to each of these neighbors, but at least give $700 per person in the household, not
okay.
$700 a household.
Yeah.
Can we at
That's
least do that, Joe?
yeah, 700 per person. If you're over 18, you're getting 700. Do like you did with the stimmy. If you have kids, you're getting an extra bump. That's reasonable.
Give them the leftover stimmy money.
Y'all know y'all got some overlaps. Nah, that's what they're using to buy the Coke that's in the White House.
Right,
The
whatever.
leftover, the leftover stimmy
Right.
money.
Right. Right.
Since everybody's in there doing cocaine apparently,
Right.
and nobody cares where it came from because all
Yo,
of them are doing it.
right. The Joe goes to the treasurer. We need about $1 billion for Hawaii. Oh, what? Wait. All right.
That was the quickest open and shut case regarding white powder I've ever seen in my life. That wasn't even, it didn't even make it to CNN. They were like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
They put the Navy SEALs on that one. They put the CIA on that one. They shut everything down.
I don't understand. I don't understand. As the summer is coming to a close, we have one last story for you. Passengers feuding over a seat reclining on an airplane. People are saying respect the person behind you. Okay. There is a viral video that has gone on where a woman, I don't know, I'm gonna try and show it, but I don't think
Don't worry about that, City. Don't try.
uh, in the viral clip that was actually filmed on August 13th on a flight from Paris, France to Los Angeles, a woman can be seen pushing her arms against the seat in front of her as if holding the door closed on an attempted break-in. So you can imagine how that looks, like a straight stiff arm. When the seat occupant protests, the person says, "I'm sorry, but no." So the person who's trying to lean back in their airplane seat is getting stiff-armed, can't go back, and the person is saying, "No, I can't help you." Taken aback at the rudeness, the aspiring leaner says she's going to inform a flight attendant, whereupon the recline decliner dares her to talk to somebody if they want to. The stiff armor then declares, "I said respectfully, can you please stop moving it back? Respect the person behind you." Seat reclining has been a point of contention among frequent flyers. In November, a travel blogger posed a question on seat reclining on Facebook, sparking a major debate on the topic. Some passengers called it an in-flight right, while others dubbed it a major space invasion. Um, One person said, "I cannot recline on a 4 or 5 hour flight if I'm expected to be able to walk off the plane, as it helps with my lower back problem." However, another person labeled the practice selfish and ridiculous, declaring people who recline their seats on airplanes are the same ones who hold up traffic while they take multiple attempts to back into a parking space. They ended up, one other person said that while they were sitting in the airplane seat, somebody was reclining with reckless abandon, and they ended up with dinner and white wine all over their lap on a red-eye flight to Europe. Another woman said that they've seen a MacBook screen crush because the person in front of them slammed their seat back. And a flight attendant also recounted an instance where a passenger broke their seatmate's nose because they leaned back too fast in the seat. Currently, the general consensus among flight experts is that people who are allowed to tilt their seats back, but should be considerate of people behind them when doing so. They said it made a Switzerland etiquette coach basically said it can be irritating or uncomfortable for the person seated behind. However, it is completely reasonable to recline your seat if you want to. They're saying maybe if you're having dinner service or whatever eating service, you should wait until they're done. Maybe people come by with, when they clean up the garbage. Or if you could just ask them, "Do you mind if I put my seat back?" Or if you recline slowly and like not just like boom, throw your seat back. But I never really had a problem with that. But I would see it as an in-flight right. Like that's why I got this seat, so I can push it back a little. And it doesn't even go back that far. Half the time the seat be reclining, I don't even know it's reclined. I'm like, this is it. You only get so much space. So I don't know. I didn't know it was really, but like, nah, you're not gonna stop me from reclining my seat. Like, what is that about? What would
Uh,
you do if somebody did that to you?
want to see the hearts in the chat room. Where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where
Mm,
the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, you know we're the originators of that.
wow.
Now, let me see the hearts in the chat room. Where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey. Okay. Your seat reclines literally maybe not even an inch, maybe an inch and a half. It really does. Like she's right. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay. Uh, yeah, it's an in-flight right. You paid for the seat. You have the right to recline it. Do you want to go the extra mile? Put them hearts in the chat room. Where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, where the hearts at? In the chat room. Hey, turn down for what? For what? For what? You know who's the originator of that? Yeah, you could go the extra mile if you want and turn around and say, hey, listen, I'm about to recline my seat. Or another preventive measure just would be recline the seat back slow. Okay, I get it. But for some people to be annoyed and say, hey, listen, this is something that needs to stop, you're out of your mind. You lucky you can recline the seat as much as you can because they're going to take all that away. Spilling wine, and I mean, first of all, you just can't. You got to be careful with your little dinner on the plane with your little wine. You got to be careful with that. You put it on that table tray. Things. Listen, what if it was turbulence? What if the plane started jumping all up and down and bumpity bump bump? Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You gotta secure your food. You walk on these planes with your dumb MacBook thinking you thinking you all opening up your laptop working on the plane as the plane is in the air. Shut up. Put your laptop away and go sleep.
What,
You
Shawn?
ain't doing no real work. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you're doing is watching a movie like
Shawn,
everybody else.
you ain't right, Shawn.
Okay. And that's it, man. I don't know what to say about that. It's not when people recline their seat back and I'm in the seat in front of them, it doesn't bother me at all. It's
Right.
not like the whole seat is reclined going backwards where it's cramping up your legs. It's not enough space I'm about to say the ship on the plane anyway.
Well, there are some people that their knees touch the back of the seat already.
Yo,
Like, what if you're tall?
get the emergency exit seat or the first class seat. You 6'8" person. If you're 400 pounds, you know what it is. You got to buy the whole row. If you're 500 pounds, you can't get on the plane. You already know that. It was a weight limit for that.
Yo, the flight, I was on this flight, right, coming here, and they were like switching around seats, right? And the one guy who had like his, like they were trying to get a family to sit together. So they moved this guy, right? So they moved him. Then more people had come, I guess, because people were on standby. So the flight attendant saw like a better way to situate everybody. And he was like, "Oh, sir, I'm gonna move you to." The guy was like, "I am not moving. I'm not moving again." So the flight attendant was like so upset, right? I was like, "Okay, sir, no problem." So then he moved this other guy. He was a bigger guy, right? So the guy gets up to move, and then the flight attendant, when you're bigger, they take you have the seatbelt extender.
Yeah.
Why did the flight attendant just bring him the seatbelt extender? He gonna hold it up, talking about, sir.
They have a seatbelt extender?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You you clip it into the seatbelt and it makes it longer so you can put it over on the other side.
Are you
And I
serious?
and I felt so bad because I'm like, why would you do that to him? He was like holding it up like a like with like a chain. He was like, sir. And the guy was like, oh, thanks. Like, like, come on. But these flights are getting crazier and crazier. I always say that. But listen, you're going to stiff arm me putting my seat back. You better keep it up the whole time. Because you let your hand down 1 second, I'm slamming that seat back the minute I get it. The minute I'm able to. So you better stiff arm me the whole 5-hour flight, ma'am.
Are you serious? Well, you know how I feel about these flights. I only want to get from point A to point B without dying in a fiery crash. I don't give a damn what these flight attendants' instructions are every time I get on the plane. And like Cindy J and Miss Miko and the three of us, one thing we do have a common bond lately is we all do travel a lot. I don't give a damn about those instructions. You can tell me them 1,000 times. I'm not going to pay attention to them. Because when that plane goes down, I'm yelling for Jesus Christ and a few other people. And that's it. And then I'm just going to die. There is no preventive measures at all that's going to save anybody from a capsule going 600 miles an hour, declining out of the sky at 30,000 feet. It's nothing.
Yes, there is. Especially if you're going to land into water, I feel like.
If the plane is crashing, this is my reaction. You want to see my reaction, CJ? I'm going to look right out the window like this.
God, please.
While everybody's doing, I'm watching to the last millisecond. I'm watching the whole thing in real time.
But Shawn, you could.
And when people start grabbing me, get over.
Shawn, you need to be getting on your oxygen mask. Get your seat, get your life vest from under the seat. I was actually paying attention last time and reading along while they were doing it. There's really not much you can do, but I don't understand the part where they say that you can use your seat as a flotation device. How?
City. If they're saying you could use your seat as a flotation device, you're dying. That's what they're saying.
How am I supposed to get the seat? I can barely plug in my phone.
Right.
How am I supposed to? And then they say if you drop your phone or something, don't try and get it yourself. Call over a flight attendant. So if I need help to pick up my phone, if it drops on the side of the seat, how the hell am I supposed to get my seat off while the plane is crashing?
Right. The plane is crashing, guys. And I'm going to give everybody the brutal truth while we're all going down and everybody's trying to find a Bible verse and trying to call your wife, which probably she's got another penis in her mouth somewhere while you're dying. I'm going to jump up and I'm going to yell out, neighbors, we're dying. Neighbors, we're dying. We're dying, motherfucker. We're dying.
No, Shawn. Everybody's going to be focused on staying alive.
Okay. So this is your boy. All right, Cindy. Guys, put a number one in. Wait, first of all, I want to ask before we leave. Put a number one chat room if you listen to the instructions of the flight attendant before the plane takes off. Put a number 2 if you don't. Cindy, give me 17 number 2s. I don't listen to a word of that because I'm not going to follow instructions to my fiery death. My fiery death will be my fiery death. Okay?
Well, shout out to United. They have a cute little video that they play. It's really funny. It's like a little musical that shows you. And I've been watching it. So You should. Might just want to know. You never know when it might help you out.
Cindy,
But
number one or two, do you listen to the flight attendants, honestly?
I mean, not every flight, but I've listened to them before. Yes. I
Okay,
do.
I don't listen to, I couldn't tell you. I was on a plane the other day. I couldn't tell you what they said. I don't care what they said.
I'm sure you have an idea. Like if you had to recite it to somebody, what would you say?
I would say, as soon as that bag come up, the oxygen mask come up, we're dying. It's a wrap. That's all I hear. Whatever they say, I hear we're done. Flotation device, done. Open up
How,
that emergency door, done.
how much is that oxygen gonna really work? And why do we need the oxygen? Like if we're crashing, what's that gonna do for us? Or is it like if we go higher because there's no oxygen? Like I don't know what the oxygen is about. I'm gonna need that explained to me.
My man Jay Buttons, and he says number two, he's not listening to none of that. And hold on, I'm gonna give you a round of applause, my friend. My homegirl, my sis, LaShawn Hayes Jones. Don't listen to none of that waste of time information. My man Ching Ching Production, do you listen to that flight information? The preventive death kind of crash kind of thing? I don't do that.
Would you try and make a phone call if your plane was going down?
No,
Like, what if you had Wi-Fi calling? Like,
no,
I think I would call my mom
you're
and
not
be like,
calling.
"Mom, look at this." You're not calling anybody.
No. Mm-mm.
Come on, Shawn, call your mom.
Say if
That's
I
why I
call my
make.
say if I call my wife, we're dying. Yeah, but I'm still mad at you from yesterday.
Are
Bitch,
you?
we're dying. We're dying. Yeah, but yesterday when you what? No, I'm not wasting nobody's time. I might send a text message. I'm done.
And then you be the one that survives, Shawn.
I'll put up. I'll text to my beloved wife or whoever. I'm done. Airplane emojis with fire. City with this emoji.
Shawn, just stop. I can't. I can't. I don't have time for this this morning. I don't have time for this. I have a headache already. No,
All right, Cindy, you got. Thank you so much, guys, for.
I'm done.
Anything else you got saying?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I'll save it for tomorrow.
All right, cool. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow live. We truly appreciate you. Just two show notes. October the 7th, we're at Comedy in Harlem, once a month. And also October the 30th, we're out here in Bethlehem at Game Time, a restaurant. That's October the 7th. Follow the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team on all media with the Queen Cindy J and Miss Miko. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Cindy, let's give them the peace sign. We are out. We see you neighbors tomorrow. Let's go.
Bye. 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 Bye.